In tonight's video, you're going to learn how to make a connection between the area model and partial products. We're going to do the same problem with both strategies, so you can see how they're very much alike. First, we're going to do the area model. Our problem is 53 times 26. We're going to break up 53 into 50, make that 50, and 3. And then we're going to break up 26 into 20 and 6. When we multiply 50 times 20, we get 1,000. And then when we multiply 3 times 20, or 20 times 3, it's 2 tens times 3, so it gives us 6 tens, or 60. 50 times 6, or 5 tens times 6, gives us 30 tens, which is 300, and 6 times 3 is 18. Our partial products are 1,000, 60, 318. Now, let's try to do it the partial products way. This is without drawing a box to organize your thinking. Instead, we will work in a more linear fashion, straight up and down. We're going to start in the highest place value, which would be the tens, and we're going to multiply it across. So we'll start with the 2. 2 times 5, and that's 20 times 50, so that gives us 1,000. And now we'll do 2 times 3, which is 20 times 3, because that 2 is in the tens place. And that will give us 60. Now we'll move over to the 6. We're going to multiply it by its highest place value first. 6 times 5, or 6 times 50, is 300. And 6 times 3 is 18. It doesn't matter which order you go in, as long as you multiply each one by the other 3, so that you end up with 4 partial products because you have 4 digits. When you add those up, you get a total of 1,378. If you were to add up the partial products on the area model, which I'll stack them up real quick, there's your 1,000, there's the 60, and here's your 300. And then you have your 18. And when you add them up, you're going to wind up with the same answer, 1,378. But my mom does it this way, I keep hearing. That's okay. These are all just strategies that will eventually get you there. Here's the mom's way. It still gives partial products, just not as many. They combine them. They start in the lowest place value, though, the 6. 6 times 3 is 18, and you carry the 1. Then 6 times 5 is 30, add the 1 is 31. Now let's show you where that comes into place. That 318 is right there in your area model. It's right over here in your partial products model. Now we'll work on the 2. And we're going to multiply the 2 across to the lowest place value, then to the higher place value. 2 times 3. Remember, that's 20 times 3, so it's going to give us 60. There's the 0 for 60. There's 6. and then 2 times 5 is 10. And we add those up, and that 1060 or 1060 is right there in your area model, and it's right here in your partial products model. When we add up the two partial products, we end up with 1,378 in all three models. Okay? Here's a word problem. Each person in the U.S. eats about 65 apples each year. Based on this estimate, how many apples do 3 families of 4 eat each year? Justify your solution by using 2 different multiplication models. So we're going to use area model and partial products. Each person eats about 65 apples each year. We want to know how many apples do 3 families of 4, in other words, 3 families with 4 people each, eat each year. Before you can use either strategy, you need to get it down to just 2 numbers to multiply. So you need to think, well, 3 families with 4 people will give you 12 people. So 65 times 12. Now, let's try our models out. We have the area model. We break up our 65 into 60 and 5, and our 12 into 10 plus 2. And 10 times 60 is 600. 10 times 5 is 50. 2 times 60 is 120. And 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, let's continue. 600 plus 50 equals 650. 120 plus 10 is 130, for a total of 780. Now we'll try the partial products method. 65 times 12, we stack those up. And we're going to start with the 1. And the 1 is actually a 10, and that's, I'm going to multiply by the 6, which is actually a 60. So 10 times 60 will give us 600. And now I'm going to multiply that 10 by the 5 as well, which will give me 50. Now I'll use that 2 on both of those numbers. 2 times 6, or 60, is 120. And it's really important that you line up your numbers in the correct place value. And then that 2 times 5 is 10. Now you should be noticing that those are the same numbers that are in the box in the other model. So when you add them up, you should get 780. Again, it doesn't matter which order you multiply in the partial products, as long as you use each number on the bottom with each number on the top. So you should come out with 4 partial products. Your homework is the quiz online, just 1 question, and you have the IXL codes that match this are D18 and D19. Please use a strategy trying to solve those. And you're going to read, and log.